unfortunately, the Elevate decided to crash. So I ended up having to go back and recreate this design. Now I hadn't rolled, so I'm going to use this as my starting point. So I already took a picture of what my design looked like before I started. So this is a picture. So I'm going to go over to my Elevate, and we're going to make sure that my repeats are the same, rows are the same, and the pattern size is the same, and the vertical up and down. So now what we have to do is make sure that this is going to land in the right place. So I'm about there on the design, and I'm about there on the quilt. So I'm going to go over to one of my circles and see where I fall on the Elevate. Holy guacamole. This is why I make sure that I take a picture when I set up my edge-to-edge designs. It doesn't happen often that the Elevate crashes. However, it happens often enough that I want to make sure that I can get back on track fairly easily. Okay, this is where I'm going to start. Here's my starting point on this design. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a relocate. I'm already at the spot where I wanted it to be. So I'm going to mark my needle. Okay, and then I'm going to relocate to pattern start and go. So I'm going to follow this. Make sure that everything falls where it's supposed to. But as you can see, I'm on row 1 of 6. I'm right on my design, so my design is the right size, the right height. Okay, but I don't want to stitch over this. I really am ready to roll. So I'm going to go up here and turn my needle off. Then I'm going to hit resume. And my machine moves over to the beginning. Okay, I'm going to continue. And it starts to move. I'm going to pause. And I'm going to hit restart. And I'm going to go to the end. Where is my end? There it is. Just before the end. And I'm going to hit resume here. So I'm going to resume at the very end. That turns the whole row red. I'm going to hit the check mark and I'm going to hit resume. My needle is still off. Okay, it's going to go to the end. So that's row 1 of 6 complete. So I'm going to hit continue. I'm going to move the machine to the middle. And hit mark location. And then I'm going to make as if I rolled. So I'm going to go back up to here, which is on the first row. So I made believe that I rolled. Okay? So then I'm going to repeat and do a resume. It's going to come, it's moving slowly over back to the beginning. And I still have my needle off. Look at that, it starts right at the same place that it's supposed to. Okay, I'm going to hit continue. And it starts to go. Again, I'm going to hit pause. I'm going to go over to restart or resume stitching. I'm going to go to the end. I'm going to hit resume stitching here and the check mark. Oops. All right, so that's row 2, almost done. I'm going to resume, continue, and let it run until the end. All right, so I am at the right spot on my quilt again. So now I'm going to roll as I normally would, turn the needle back on. Again, I'm going to move over to the middle of my quilt. And I put my needle down. I hit continue. It's in the spot where I want it, so I'm marking the location. And then I'm actually going to go over and roll my quilt. And I will be back on track. Hope this was helpful for you.